to my name's Marge. I'm a hell wise clown. Every day I do these esoteric news reports of sorts. I collect a lot of data. I listen to a lot of music. I get quiet. I listen to the, I dial in. I spend a lot of time dialing into the information highway that you tap into. The only way you can tap into it is to get quiet and listen to what is within. It took a long time for me to figure out how to quiet my ego and just listen and be still. Now, I'm up to an hour a day. Sometimes, if I'm fortunate, real good, I'll get to go longer. It's better than napping. I come back out, you know? But the thing of it is once you reach that level of peace and serenity, it's hard to acclimate yourself and calibrate yourself back into the real world. For me, I'm that kind of sensitive. I pick up on people's feelings and emotions, you know. Most of the time I'm good at, hey, they're yours, handle them, they're yourself. But every now and again, I dip by somebody, man, and I just freaking feel their pain. Like it's mine, because we all share. We all have the same emotions. We just don't have them all at the same time, you know. I spend a lot of time listening to astrology, Vedic and Western, and, you know, even if you, like, put in birth chart, if you put it into a search engine and you look it up, it'll give you all kinds of position, or, wheels, but the houses are not all congruent. Like, they're not all exactly the same. Like, some here, it's like the first house starts here, and the first house starts over here, and so, I don't know, it's all, no one is ever going to know everything there is to know about astrology. No one is ever going to know everything there is to know about anything. They just think they do, or their egos do, or whatever, you know. We all have access to the same ideas. We all do. For instance, I remember thinking, you know, what happens is a situation comes up in life, and then you think about, or I think about, you know, like an accident happens. I remember going to a barbecue in Morro Bay. I was probably 3 years old. It was a birthday party or something, and there was somebody, it was probably me, dropped the ketchup bottle and it broke, and I'm like, why aren't these in tubes like plastic, like toothpaste, and because, you know, it won't break. When I was 3, you know, and then lo and behold, later on, somebody made a lot of money from putting condiments in plastic, you know. But it's life gives us ideas, you know. That's engineers, you know, they make things better because of efficiency. But what happens is there's this contrary energy that had been in place for so long that just has created dissonance. You know, yeah, having a lot of detail is good, but when you have so much detail that you get away from the spirit in which the detail is to be created, things have gotten out of hand, and that's what's happened. There's a placement, one of the astrology readers that I listened to this morning, she's pretty cool. She's a PhD, and I'm gonna frickin' wreck her name, I already know it. Bairavee. I'll put the link to her talk this morning on her take on the placements. The astrology placements. You hot, bud? Did you get too hot? Nope. I'm sitting on the heating pad this morning. It's freaking cold, y'all. Anyway, she, Mercury station retrograde in Pisces in the next 26 hours. This is what's happening, okay? This is what happens. Alignments come up, right? The changes that are happening with us are no different that are changes that are happening in a large scale on the planet. You know, just like we are our own organism, you know, we have all of our organs, you know, that collectively work together to, you know, to give us life. So does the planet, you know. So we're sorting ourselves out. So is Earth. You know, we're just hitchhikers. You know, we're just allowed to be here for like freaking 80 years if we're lucky. You know, depending on how we set it up in our Akashic records. Anyway, so Mercury station retrograde in Pisces. Pisces new moon is 15 degrees in Pisces, which is right down the middle because there's 30 degrees, 31 degrees in each sign. 365, whatever. And so, and Pisces represents certain things. I'm Pisces and Vedic is my sun sign. So, things can go either way. I mean, things are perfectly balanced right now, you know? Things can go real good. We can go right down the middle, you know? We dip too much into one side or too much into the, oh, there goes the balance. And then the third thing that is happening is Uranus is in Taurus. Now, last time Uranus was in Taurus, this came from Rick, another astrologer I like. He made the mention that was when World War II happened. Yeah. Things are pretty heated. You know, government already does what they want because they're run by a bunch of men who are swinging things and to prove their ego, you know, that isn't good for everyone. So, you know, they're already cutting people up and putting people out in garbage, you know, government officials and all. So, you know, people do what they want. I guess best we could do is fly under the radar, and if someone freaking points anything at us, freaking duck. So, she made point that back when these three placements, now yeah, Uranus alone in Taurus in World War II, but these three placements all together, there was an incident that happened in the period that all three of these placements were happening, and it's called, and this is accredited to her because she's the one that told me about it, it's called the Birkenhead, HMS Birkenhead in 1845. That's when all these placements were last put together. And it was also referred to as the HM Troop Ship Birkenhead or Steam Frigate Birkenhead. It was a ship that what happened was I believe they hit something. It shipwrecked on the 26th of February in 1852 where they were transporting troops to Loga Bay, Danger Point, blah, 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 South Africa. There was not enough lifeboats for all the passengers, and the soldiers famously stood firm on board, therefore allowing women and children to board the boat safely and escape from sinking. Only 193 of the estimated 643 people on board survived, and the soldiers' chivalry gave rise to the unofficial women and children first protocol when abandoning ship. When the Birkenhead drill, Poland's, you know, and that's the thing, is chivalry is coming back, and it's not gender specific. Do you know in Taiwan there's like 15, 14 different genders that people identify with? Because they get to choose what they are. And no one, no man, no woman should get to choose what somebody else wants to be. And the planetary alignments, it's so beautiful. It takes my breath away that people are coming into who they are and they're not scared to do it. And it's so fucking rad. I told this story about, this is kind of a neat tool, a story about the ketchup bottle, but here was another idea. This is something that I came up with in junior high school, and I don't think I got a good grade on it. See, because I come up with ideas that are just so wild that people, they aren't ready for their time, and people are like, that's just, you know, that's some Jetson stuff. The world is turning in to the reality that this technology is, dreamers and believers like me that always come up with the ideas. The world is changing to be more comfortable to us. People are being more open and receptive to us, so we can breathe freely to help engage and create more ideas. The idea I came up with years ago was a glove that would translate audio, sign language to audio, right? And a young man did it. I put my words out here because some things I just got the ideas for, you know, and let somebody else do it. Let it be their success, you know. But I get to celebrate in with them because we had the same idea, you know, and be happy for them and, you know, endorse them because it was your idea too. People don't have to be mad about stuff. My mom always says, "You choose to be angry." I hate when she says that to me. Because Because I'm like, sometimes anger creeps up as a vibration on me that is just. But when I take on so many things that I get overloaded, that anger is the emotion that comes over on me, because anger is always my fear. Anger and my fear, they're the same thing. It's the same thing. I call it anger, but it's fear. I might as well just call it fear. So when my fear overtakes me and just overwhelms me, I'm taking on too much and I'm trying to control two things, and my ego needs to take a sit down. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to do my meditate state, make some warm food, and go take care of a couple of errands today. Times are beautiful and scary stuff, you know. It's gonna happen. You might as well have some fun along the way. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.